Hello, my name is Piotrkowicz and I am professional martial arts trainer. Today we are going to cover Jiu-jitsu again, and this time I'm going to focus on overthrows. We will have ashibarai, which is an undercut with the foot, used in karate, Jiu-jitsu, judo and in MMA, so it is used everywhere you can. Next, also the universal technique, which is o-goshi. So literally, a big hip. It is a hip throw. It is required for a white belt in judo. This is one of the basic techniques of the discipline. In Jiu-jitsu, it is also one of the basic techniques. And there are many hip throws. They are all variations of somewhat similar movement, in fact. In wrestling, this throw is simply called the hip. And the last technique would be the morote gari, which means to enter the legs. Okay? Morote means with both hands. It is about such an entrance into the legs when you're using both hands. Also a basic technique, widely used in freestyle wrestling, in MMA and in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. Currently in judo it is forbidden. It used to be allowed to do this technique from a defensive stance. Now it's not being used. Also in karate. It used to be possible to do this in karate. WKF allowed this technique because it is a low throw. If we don't do an upward lift, the opponent falls from like half a meter on his butt. So what could happen here? It is not particularly dangerous. Well, we'll start with the leg entry. I'll show with bogush. Okay, we assume that we are fighting only for grabs. And you can even try to raise your hands from a distance. Push with the shoulder. Pull here with your hands behind the knees. And do it like this. Bogusz did the pad. With Mark, I will show another variant, so to speak, of the fall. Bogusz did the pad, more in a judo manner. Now Mark will slide off in this situation. I do the throw, he loosens up a bit, hop, and falls softly like this. And potentially, here he can fasten his guard with his legs. Okay? And here we are already fighting further on the ground. Okay, these are the two methods. If someone makes a pad, fine. But so to speak, his hands are out, and if there are punches allowed, it's better to fall like Mark showed. If it's just grappling match, then this is okay. If someone surprises you on the street, and you know that he is not some kind of grappling artist, and just goes down to you like a big ox, yeah, sure. You can make a pad and protect your spine and the back of your head. Good. Thanks. And now. Once me, once Bogusz. Hop. I bounce his hands and go in. And you? Okay. And here. We stand up. This is how such a basic exercise looks like. One word about it. It doesn't matter if we are here from a grapple or from a distance. There must be a boost, because one of the basic counter-grappling exercises is the guillotine choke. You really don't want him to close it, especially if he is strong. Once one, once the other. Just roll over for now. Let's go. Good. Mark and the other. And one more time. And one more. Okay, and again. Okay. Now try this way. Here, from the grasp, conquer, and enter the leg. Okay, we try. Grab a hold by the neck, and let's go. Yes. And change, the other one. Boost. Okay. And again. And again. Okay, this is just the base form. Okay? It's often done so that you go very low here to grab his legs. This is more of a sporty version of that. It is also done so often that the legs can be positioned either on one or the other side. And then I have him in a side position. Or boost, take him up high, lift, and throw him on the floor. And then you have a better chance to do some damage. It all depends on what you want to achieve. Is it to be the ultimate fighting technique that can end up damaging the body? Or do you want to have, after moving the legs to the side, a good position to hit up on your opponent and not go into the guard, because then the one on the bottom has more defensive options? Or do you want to make sure that you catch the legs from a long distance and move the fight from stand-up to the ground level? Okay? It requires a lot of agility here. If you make a mistake, you get a knee in your face. And that's not very good. So really, all these variations that we did here should be done in training. But today, such a basic. But today, the basic stuff. And now this. Mark will make an entrance in the legs. And we will talk a little bit about the basic counter. I throw my legs back. I knock my hips to the ground. I catch him this way. And I push him with my nose to the mat. Okay? Then I can go to his hand, to his head, or to his leg, as much as I want. But sometimes, if I'm late, he still holds his leg here. Okay? Also watch. If he gets very stubborn, push forward, it will continue this way. And now he is the main one. So that's better for him. So, if it happens so that you are late, come lie down, grab the leg. You have to do that. Break it up, kick back, and walk the opponent around, okay? All the time keeping the weight here, with your chest, on his body, on the back, okay? Well, and that's it. You can use one or the other arm to break here, his hold, or the leg itself, if it's bent, and so on. Also important is this movement after the circle. Remember to do it by lying with your chest on his back. Otherwise, if you give him, once again, lay down. If you will give him too much space here, then he will grab you by the leg, he will pull you up again, and he'll hit you again. Or he'll break out your arm. Well, that's unnecessary. This counter is called sprawn, okay? Well, it's just a throw to the back, with such a simultaneous hip thrust down. And it goes like this. One will do the leg entry, and the other does the counter. If the hand is holding the leg, we break it off and go around the circle. Okay, let's go. Determine who starts the attack. And so, well, the second. Hands, throw them off. Yes. Well, it's good. Again. Go. Yes. Okay. And change the second one. Hop. Okay. Once again, Mark will do it here, more in the middle, to make sure you fit the frame. Okay, and stop. This is the first technique and the first counter. The second technique looks like this. It can't be done from a distance. I grab him here. I repeat his leg position, only here from the inside. Here I pull him, the second hand by the hip. I bring him up by straightening my legs, and then I push. Okay? This is the hip throw. Stand here. You can see now, the position of the legs is very similar. I have my legs tightly bent, and I bump him with my hip. And he ends up sort of here, doing a side pad. Okay? Dynamically done, then he just flies over my hips like this. Okay? Come on. Take a look. Like this. Okay? It is important to come up low here and have my feet as in karate bow position. Only my knees are bent. I straighten my hips and knees, step on my toes and push with my hands. With one hand I pull, with the other I push. Okay, once one and then the other. This is o-goshi. Yes. Mark is thrown now. Something's not right. Again. Good. Change. Okay, and change. Okay. And now look. Basically, depending on what I want to get. Well, here is the simplest throw. Here is more damage. He's kinda going over the top. And also, I can be not really kind. Do this, and then change. Boom. And I can try to attack his hand. This is soe nage, but the movement is very similar, only under the shoulder, not under the hip, okay? Another very nice version is to fasten it on the face, or on the jaw. As long as the opponent is not very slippery, the rest of the body will go there where the head goes. There's so much compression on the neck as I pull on the head, that as he starts to press, I practically pull on his neck with my whole body. He will fly over. If I have a good grip, he will fly. Okay. And there are different variations of this. From the inside, here you can make an uchimata throw. Komegoshi. From the outside, like this. But all those throws rely on the fact that I turn my back, bounce him with my hips and pull with my hands. Sometimes I can help myself by bouncing the center of the gravity with my leg or flipping him over my leg and doing all sorts of things like that. Basically all these throws should be practiced. And any of the hip throws should be chosen. Some variation by Mark, another variation of that hip throw should be chosen by Boguś. Here, because of the body structure and predisposition, for example, these variations, where the legs are used as well, should be rather for Mark. The one when one stands steadily on his feet or uses the strength of the shoulder, rather for Boguś. Okay, now look. If he is not trying to throw with any of these throws, then I should run this way. If he goes around the circle in that direction, I am going in that direction too. I can use my hand here to sort of bounce off him. Even if he already lifts me up. Lift me? Higher, higher. This way I can softly go around it. And now once one, then another. You will make 3 attempts in a row to enter the throw, and the other one runs away from him 3 times. Let's start. Once, first attempt, escape. Second attempt, escape. And now let him in a bit closer. so that he already lifts you up, and try to get out of it. Right. And the second. 1, 2, and let yourself be lifted a little. Let's say you're late. 3. Yes. Okay? And that's kind of the basic counter on this move. Of course, there are different ways to get around it, as always. If I'm going this way, and I know that he's going that way, then I can put my foot in here one time and throw him with the o-goshi throw. It would look something like this. 1, he runs away. 2, he runs away. You know what? You can go around a little less, because I don't want to throw you into the wall. 1, he runs. 2. And this is quite dynamic throw, as you can see. Performed like this. Nice recounter from judo. Right. The last thing, come on Mark, that we are going to do is ashibarai. We stand parallel, like this. I pull on his hand and want him to put his leg here. Then I undercut this way. This is a very good position to attack the hand, one or the other, because if he starts defending it, I can always change, etc. And also, he doesn't land so that he can make a guard out of it. Ashibarai, we do so that the hands work in this way, as if we were turning the steering wheel. I go around the wheel backwards, and now I turn him and cut the leg. If it's the case that he doesn't want to, no. If it's the case that he doesn't want to tighten the leg, you need to help with your hands. It gets a little forceful, but that's the way it has to be done. Once one and the other. Start. Great. Move more to the middle, once again. Boguś. Okay, once again, the other one. Good. Change. Good. Okay, now, what's the counter to that? Mark. Pull. Try to undercut. I'm trying to get him down with exactly the same movement as he did. Once, very slowly, you see? Once again, slowly. Up. I pick up his leg from behind. This is a very technical counter, which is not so easy, but if it won't work out for you here, because you will be late, you can always attack the other leg. Try to do it, gentlemen. Once one, once the other. Pull your leg back. Yes. Yes. And the knee. Yes. It's okay. And to really make it work, in fact, you should mix all these three throwing attempts. Don't schematically do the same technique, one by one the same technique, the same counter, but change, so you can better recognize which throw and which rebuttal is being made. And then, depending on which one is done, I make the appropriate counter and prevent someone from making me fall. Relatively, if someone knocks someone over because it's over somebody's head, it's also a good exercise of efficiency in attack. It is very important to balance everything. If we train in ground techniques, we can't limit ourselves only to ground techniques. We have to get to the ground somehow. I understand that judokas exercise throws more, Brazilian Jiu-jitsu colleagues practice the ground more, but you have to get to the ground somehow. It's nice to be able to do a little more throws than 3. Because just getting into the legs, well, it's really just a lack of repertoire at all. The leg entry is done by everyone, but when it comes to the hip throws, not everyone does them. And ashibarai is not such an easy attack either. In karate it's allowed, in judo it's allowed, in jiu-jitsu it's allowed, in MMA it's also used. And it's also used from a distance, but we won't cover that now. Maybe other time. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and comment if you like. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you.